Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new season of the KCM. We're here in week 1, the KCM season 3, already in season 3 of 2021. And we've got a great lineup for you here today. Got Queen coming out first, he's against Rush. Other than that, we've got Terran, Light, and Ample, Protoss, Snow, Best, and Motive, and we've got Action and Shine who are following up here. No spoilers for the ASL qualifiers. I actually haven't seen all of them yet. I'm not sure if all these guys made it in to the ASL, but just from experience, I think that KCM generally only invites players who've made it in, with the odd exception. I'm not sure if that's 100%, but I think all of these guys should be in the ASL this season to get a chance to see how they play here. That's a very odd positioning on the spawning pool here. And a third base going to come up right away for Queen. Third base before gas. I love how the meta has changed throughout these past couple of seasons. Switching over from the 2-hatch and then over to the 3-hatch. And then Crazy Zerg starts becoming a big thing. And Hydra plus Defiler with Plague becomes a big thing. You just never know what you're going to get when you tune into Brood War. Throughout the ages, just constantly altering and switching around, and the styles continue to evolve. Queen now taking the third base directly over here at the center left. This is similar to what we've seen on this map from Soma in the past, who is so good at Mutalisk control. He's able to keep his Terran opponent back while going directly into a Crazy Zerg style without building any sunken colonies. It's ridiculous what he's capable of doing with that build, but we'll see if Queen is going to go for that, or if he wants to try and play it out a little differently here. If he wants to go for Defiler plus Hydra and Lurker, that's a completely viable strat. We've seen that played around with quite a bit here by the pro players. I've messed around with it myself on stream. It's very hard to pull off that strat. I mean, it's not too bad to macro Hydralisk out plus Defilers, but it's really tough to keep on plaguing, consuming, and dark swarming constantly. Keeping your Defilers alive can also be a challenge as well with all of the science vessels flying around. You really have to stay on top of that, keep throwing out your Scourges and just hitting everything, but it's a fun style to play, and it allows the Zerg player to actually fight on equal footing with the Terran. Even if the Terran has the same number of bases, if they manage to get a third base, it doesn't really matter as long as you have good plagues and you have your unit positioning correctly. You can just wipe out complete armies with that Plague Hydralisk, just one-shotting everything. So it is a very strong style. We've got a Spire coming up right now. It's not really telling us too much, except for these sunken colonies coming down. These are absolutely necessary here because Rush is playing a 2-rack style. He's now, of course, adding on Engineering Bay and 3rd racks, but he's pushing out here with a quick 2-racks push. The quick stim to be finished up here. The range will be on the way. 2 medics and a group of Marines. Not going to be able to push up this ramp. Unlikely to be able to push through this either. 2 sunken colonies is pretty strong. Maybe he can fight through this 2 sunken colonies. Depends on how many lings are here for Queen, and also the targeting with the sunken colonies. You have to target both sunkens on 1 Marine at a time, otherwise the spread damage will just be healed by those medics, so you've got to be careful in that regard. It's a little bit more difficult to bust through once you've got 3 sunkens. I don't know what it is, but the DPS just adds up so much faster from those sunkens, and they just kill Marines crazy quick. So I'm surprised he doesn't add on the third sunken, but I guess he's got enough lings out here. The factory is coming up now. The Evo chamber is done. This will be a Crazy Zerg game. Queen going to be starting up those armor upgrades right away here. He's got a good number of drones already. He's securing that third gas. I think we're going to see a bunch of Meatless pop out here, and then a lot of additional Sunkens being added on in the front, as Rush is going to initiate some sort of factory push here. I think he's going to get... Oh no, he's actually floating his factory away. Alright, double starport is going to be the choice instead, and Queen just needs to hold off here with the Meatless. Keep himself alive until he gets that second Carapace upgrade and Ultralisk come out. So everything's pretty straightforward from here for Queen. I think he actually spots the floating factory as well. That's huge. You know that there's not going to be any push here at the front aside from just pure Marine Medic. You're not going to have tanks over on the other side of the map trying to hit your sunken colonies. So he can just chill back here, just be a little bit more relaxed, focus on getting this hive out. He can also get another Evo chamber here, get those plus upgrades on the Zergling and Ultralisk attack, and he will be able to fly in as well. There aren't many turrets being constructed here for Rush. He's actually heading directly across the map. Uh-oh, this is not good, man. You need more Sunkens than this, I think, Queen. Only 2 Sunkens? That will absolutely be destroyed by this number of Marine Medic. There's no way you can hold that with just 2 Sunkens unless you have perfect Meatless control. 11 Mutas plus 2 Sunkens. I think that this number of Marine beats this. 2 more Sunkens are on the way, but they're a bit late. Okay, Rush is backing off, so thinking better of going up against this number of Sunkens. He doesn't actually know how close they are to finishing, but they are very far away, I believe. Now, they're starting to finish up here. 4 Sunkens plus the Meatless should be able to hold on against this. Defiler Mound, okay. We've got a Defiler Mound here. There's the Nidus network as well. So, a bit surprising here. I was not expecting a Defiler Mound. I was expecting a bunch of Ultralists to be coming out very soon. I think that's what Rush would be expecting as well. But the Defiler Mound kind of throws a wrench into things. I'm not sure what Queen is thinking to do, because he really can't afford to build Ultralisk and Defiler, get the Defiler upgrades and all the Ultralisk upgrades off just as 3 gas. It's just a little bit too much. Plus, he's got the Hydralisk Den down as well, so maybe this is Hydralisk Defiler. Hydralisk with Plague plus Defiler. Getting an armor upgrade is not typical with this style, but can still be pretty strong. Here comes Rush, gonna run down on top of these Sunkens, but the Sunkens kill off a lot of the Marines right away. And the Lurkers pop out just at the right time, gonna hold off this attack. He needs more Sunkens, though. He immediately has to remake these. There they are being remade. 2 of the Radiates go down here. He's gonna pop some eggs in the front. Trying to make a little bit of a distraction, a bit of a wall here in the front. This is way too much Marine Medic, though, and the moment that these go down, he is just going to dive on top of this. Defilers, they don't have the Dark Swarm. They're being focused down as well. That last Defiler manages to walk away. There's so many more Marines, though. So many Marines are here, and he's fighting along with the Mutilus and might be able to clear this just barely. Wow! A very clutch hold here from Queen. He's going to be able to pick off one of these science vessels as well. That was chaotic as chaotic gets. It was so close to a breakthrough from Rush. Throwing down another evolution chamber here. Calmly, Queen going to continue with his upgrades. But that was about as close as it gets, man. He was just about to be broken. But now that Rush has lost his main army, I think Queen is in a decent position. He can move out and try to take another base here. He can try to get some plagues down. And he's not going to be broken anymore. The Defiler upgrades are finished. The Consume is present. Some Lurkers with that Dark Swarm going to hold off all of these Marine Medic for a very long time. At least until the Irradiates burn them down. And here comes some more Lurkers going to shove everything back a little bit further. I haven't seen too many Hydras out here just yet. He's focusing on keeping himself alive for now. Pushing the Marine Medic back just a little bit. The Dark Swarm going to run out here. He's going to dive on some Science Vessels. Nice pick off. Where are the Defilers? He needs another one. There are 2 Defilers popping out. Going to throw down these Dark Swarms. And a plague comes down. The first plague of the game. Landing on quite a few of these Marines. And the medics are going to be running out of energy here. It looks like he does put them on a move command, so they don't continue to lose that energy. You can get another plague down here on some of these Marines, bringing their health down to 1. That's a lot of extra hatcheries being added on by Queen, and this is for sure going to be for Hydralisks. Insane numbers of Hydralisks are going to be popping out soon. Hydralisk plus Lurker plus Dark Swarm plus Plague. It's a lot of things to throw together, but it can be highly effective if used properly. That's a nice Plague there. Rush is going to run in between the gap towards this natural, but it will allow Queen to get somewhat of a surround here, getting on top of most of these Marines and Medics, and all of these Science Vessels are very, very low, nearly all. So as he runs in with some more Lings, he's going to dive on top of that with those remaining Mutalisks and pick off quite a good number of those Science Vessels. Now we see the factory being landed there in front of the main base. He's going to start producing tanks. He has to get that tank count up here before his opponent can come across the map and throw down Dark Swarms near his front entrance. The third base is up. Third gas is coming. More and more factories should be added on here in the front. 2 or 3 more, I would expect. And just pumping out pure tank from here. Tank, Marine, Medic is the choice from Rush in order to counter this play, in order to counter this Defiler tech with the Hydralisks. We've seen this style many times before. We've seen it go both ways, so this is anyone's game at this point. We don't have a 4th base up yet for Queen, but he is trying to grab that base in the center left, just above his 3rd base. That will be tough to hold. It'll be a pivotal moment here whether Rush can get on top of this and actually kill this base or not. Some Irradiates are going to come down. Lurkers do get burrowed. A Defiler from behind here would be huge, coming up for the Plague. There's one on quite a few of these Marines. They don't have any HP left, going to be picked off easily by those Hydras, but the Hydras do fall back. Going to regroup here and push forward once again. A Defiler sitting on that high ground just outside of Rush's base. He can throw a Dark Swarm down on that factory and just kill that factory with his Dark Swarmed Lings. Oh, actually we do have some Fire Bats now, so maybe he can cut through that. Coming up here, there's quite a few tanks, but still relatively low number. Only 3 tanks here. 2 of them get picked off though, and that 3rd one, oh, it gets picked off as well. So Queen getting in here and dealing a lot of damage before, but oh, I see something down from Rush in the natural of Queen. I believe it's a drop. Dropping some Marine Medic here in the main base, but this is so much Ling and Hydra. I think this is just going to get cleaned up. Lings with crack, plus the Hydralisk with quite a few upgrades here. I believe it's +1, +2. Pretty darn strong. There's another plague as well. Huge plague on a lot of these Marines. The Lurkers are going to burrow here and kill off a ton of these Marine Medic, but a lot of them do end up surviving. Some good target firing there by Rush, and somehow these Marines that are plagued, being surrounded by medics, are able to push through here. Not for much longer, though, as he comes forward, picks off the Science Vessel, is going to finish off this army. So many medics are here. He's also pushed Rush back into his main base. Though he has not breached the third, Rush still mining from that location. He is not producing any tanks at this moment. I don't know if he even has a factory right now, but he's producing an insane number of Firebats. Firebats, I don't think they're too good against Hydras, guys. I think that might be a bit of a counter, especially if you do plague them. This is a very strange looking army right now. We've got so many Firebats, more Firebats than Marines, I think, in that army. Coming up against just Hydra Ling Defiler, something that you would have never seen, I think, before 2021. Just so rare, so incredibly rare in these pro matches. Maybe if we go way back, you could see some of this. This was a really old style. It was used a long time ago, but just has come back into fashion here recently, especially on this map. Now, Defiler coming up here. I think that Rush is trapped, man. He is not going to be able to get out of this one. Big plague again. Complete surround here. Another plague goes down. Dark Swarm is not really going to help out too much, but Rush is trapped. He can't get out of here. He's going to get surrounded and killed. All of his Marine Medic will go down. The Science Vessels are falling as well. One manages to escape. Another attack coming through the middle of the map from Rush, but I think that Queen has taken the initiative here. He's stolen the momentum. You can see how much he has in the middle of the map. His army size is massive. He's got a ton of bank right now. He's got pretty good defense over here at this location. He's got the Dark Swarm, which will make things so incredibly hard. Plus Plague coming down on a giant clump of units. Oh my goodness. Rush is going to get eliminated here, I think, guys. Falling back across the map with all these plagued units. Red Marines with that red goo. You can't really even see it, but it makes them so incredibly weak. A fourth base coming up for Rush and a fifth for Queen. Okay, we do have two factories back here. He is adding on those tanks, those all-important tanks. They are so incredibly important to this composition. To battling against the Hydras here, you can actually throw out, or you can actually target down the Defilers before they throw out some of their spells with those tanks. You don't have to completely rely on the Science Vessels to kill off those units before they get their spells. Now, this is a pretty good position from Rush. He is getting Dark Swarm, though, here, and none of these Marines are dealing any damage. Huge plague on all of the Science Vessels. The tank is going to survive for now, but I think the next rally... Okay, actually, it will be picked off. The next rally of Queen's units is probably just going to finish off this base here in the upper left. More Lurkers coming up. Big group of Ling, Hydra, and Defiler going to breach this base. Fourth base is going to fall here. Rush doing his best, but does have to abandon this location. Some Marine Medic and Firebat moving in to intercept all of these units, but of course, Plague, Dark Swarm, Cracklings running up, Lurkers running up. Nothing that this force can do except just wander across the map and look for some counter damage, which I don't think is going to happen. There's the command center going down. I would expect a GG any moment here from Rush. There it is. That command center falling was just too much. Rush taps out, and Queen takes game number 1. Coming up next here, we've got Queen versus Snow. That last game was such a clutch hold from Queen. Oh my god, Rush just about had that. He really did with that big group of Marine Medic in the natural. I thought Queen was dead as a Zerg player when you have your Defilers out like that and they just don't have Consume. Just barely don't have Consume. It's the worst feeling in the world. You know that you could hold on if you only could get one Dark Swarm down, but you can't. Some way Queen managed to hold on even in that situation and brought the game back into his favor. That was a great game number one. And now we're here with Snow up in the top left, cross map position. Queen down here in the bottom right of Polypoid. Very long rush distance. A great setup for a very long and interesting Protoss versus Zerg. Love this matchup as well. Absolutely one of my favorites. One of the most frustrating matchups to play as well, but to be honest, from the Zerg perspective, can be extremely frustrating trying to hold off these crazy Zealot timing attacks. And especially now, where the meta has changed a lot because of Mini. We're seeing so many different weird timings with multiple Dark Templar mixed in, these super early Corsair builds where they skip over so many cannons. We're just seeing a lot of weird stuff coming out of Protoss recently, and it's very, very tough to hang on against as the Zerg player. If you're not just going to bust every game and you're going to try to actually hold on and react to what the Protoss is doing, it's become very, very hard. Now, we do have a 9 pool here, and that speed is coming up. He's actually going to be... Oh, sorry. No speed yet. He's just getting the gas now. So gas on 2 hatch. With a bunch of Lings here in the natural already. Only a single Zealot has popped out thus far. And picking off some of these probes. Okay. That second Zealot popping out was very clutch. And a Forge coming down here in the front. Nice completed wall there by Snow, and a good pull of probes. It's definitely taking that very, very seriously. And it's amazing how much better Zealots can do against these Lings when they do have that probe support. So, handling this very nicely. A couple more Lings being spawned back at home for Queen. So, a pretty decent investment into the Lings overall. We're at 100 gas now. Looks like Queen gonna stop the mining, halting the mining on the gas, just gonna keep it at 100 and get his lair out here as quickly as possible. A very, very quick lair here for Queen indeed. He will be able to get that Spire out much earlier than normal. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. That is not a lair. Instead, he's getting speed here. Look at that. The gas is gone. Speed upgrade is the follow-up here for Queen, and good chance he's going to pop out a ton of Lings, especially if he can kill this one probe. He almost gets it. Ooh, that was close. Almost got that probe. I don't think we're going to have a long game here, guys, actually. Now that we've seen the build from what Queen's planning to do, with no lair and no gas being mined, he's going to mass up a ton of Lings. He's actually putting down another hatchery here. So we'll likely see him start to mine gas again here in a minute or so and throw down an Evo chamber and then go into +1 armor. I don't think he's just going to completely mass up and just try to kill Snow here with just pure Ling. But Snow spots the speed and is going to send some of his Zealots back home. He's building a cannon as well. I think he's got the right reaction here. making sure that if there is a speedling that he's ready for that. We don't see the Evo Chamber just yet, but Queen has begun mining that gas once again. I think there should be an Evo Chamber coming up here. And the +1 upgrade should be started reasonably quickly. There it is, Evo Chamber. A nice little wall here from Queen, adding on extra hatcheries at his third base as well. Let's see if he pulls off gas once again. I don't think he will. The Spore is down, and this Zealot is very annoying. This Zealot, having wandered around the entirety of the map, all the way past these Zerglings, that should have easily been able to deal with this Zealot here. Instead, it manages to make its way right up into the natural and will cause a fair amount of problems here for our Zerg player. Gonna pick off another drone, so 2 drone kills. Something that should never have dealt damage if it had been scouted by Queen. Actually gets a fair amount now. Scouting out here from Snow, gonna reveal the build. +1 Carapace with the Spore, going directly up here into Hydralisk Den thereafter. We'll rely completely on Hydralisk for the defense. Now, this is probably just going to be straight up 6-hatch. And we might not even see a Spire, though that's kind of fallen out of favor recently, because the Spire, like the lack of Spire, allows the Protoss to get early Templar drops off and Storm drops off in your main base and a natural base. Also, DT drops are really, really strong. So we rarely ever see just pure Hydra without even a single Muta or Scourge being built with a lack of Spire. See if Queen decides to build that this game. He still hasn't taken out the gas. There it is now, taking that gas at the natural. Absolutely necessary to begin Hydralisk production here, along with upgrades and all that good stuff. And we'll keep an eye on the gas at the third. That's going to indicate when it's time for a Lurker transition from Queen. Flanking with the Lings here. This is really great moves by Queen. Threatening the counterattack here, but it's not really a good threat if you don't follow through. He really should have dived right in that natural, but a DT pops out now, and that's going to completely hold this Ling aggression. The setup here from Queen is pretty good. That is, he has a very nice setup from Queen, and actually defends with much less Hydras than what we see out of Snow. Even not even going to dive in here into the natural base either. So you can see the power of the Sim City here from Queen, just completely defending that early aggression with perfect positioning, with that perfect SimCity. That's something that I have yet to master, and is probably one of the reasons I'm still at B rank, to be honest. Tends to be that I mean, if I had 5 Hydras and a Sunken, my opponent would definitely try to dive in on that and just do their best to kill as much as they can, target down drones and stuff, but Snow, recognizing the power of that SimCity, the way that Queen had that set up, he was going to be able to do a lot of blocking with the drones. It's going to make that very difficult. And the Snow just backs off, realizing that's not going to be a good trade for him. So Queen manages to get away with building up into a ton of drones here. He's got a lot of drones out on the map right now. He's taking his 4th base. He hasn't had to invest in the Spire tech at all. He's just purely pumping out Hydra. There's a counterattack coming over to the left side here. Well, this base is, again, very well set up. He's going to target at this hatchery. That was a little bit weird here from Snow. I'm not sure what the plan was there. Just trying to pick off a hatch? Trying to make a distraction. He's not counterattacking anywhere else. Oh, there it is. The DT was trying to sneak in there during that attack at the third base. Another group of Zealots will push back these Hydras. Oh, and +1. Actually, he didn't go Carapace this game. Very interesting. Instead, getting right into +1 attack for the Hydra. That is very interesting indeed. Adding on a lot more drones now. And I swear, he's got to be around 40, maybe even 50 drones at this point. He has massed up drones immensely. And I'm a big fan of Queen. Watched his videos a lot. And I've seen a lot of his different tutorials for Zerg versus Protoss, and he's playing this out very similar to how he described in his tutorial videos. Except for the evolution chamber play, he went for a Spire in most of his regular videos, his tutorial videos. That is the more common play. But he's taking this fourth base. He's being turtley. He's going to try and pick off a Templar here, but he's not going to over-aggress into this base. Just trying to pick off what he can here. Look for any mistakes from Snow, and now he's going to try to grab a fourth base. Now, in his tutorials, he always said to grab a fourth at another main, either in the top right or the top left, as sort of a diversion for the Protoss. Try to get the Protoss to attack into one of those two locations and put their army in a compromised position where then Queen could go out and counterattack into one of these two forward bases, likely that third base there in the front. So far, he's not doing that. He's actually taking the base in the center right. So getting up here onto 5 bases in a very tight formation rather than trying to snag one of those other mains. So a little bit of a diversion from what I've seen in the past. +2 is done already. +1 armor should be almost finished, and the Queen's Nest is up, so Hive is on the way. We've got a big supply here for Queen, who's almost matching the supply of Snow at this point. It's going to be falling back all the way back across the map, but I don't see anywhere that Snow can really successfully break in other than this location. If he wants to dive up here with all of his Zealots and try to just get on top of those lurkers immediately, he might be able to break that spot, but losses will be significant. And a counterattack will be swift from Queen. So, slowly pushing up here towards the fourth base. We'll see if he can break through there. This is Queen sending a lot of units down towards the bottom left, sending them into a position where they can be used for a flank later. He's looking around here, getting prepared for the flank. Those flanking units are spotted, unfortunately, though, by a few Zealots. Still can be useful, though, as Snow tries to push through this area. Some great storms there, picking off some of these Hydras, but storms are not going to really change the fates here. It's going to be up to this flank. This is the real story of this game. A lot of Hydras coming in the back here. Those were some great storms to pick off those flanking Hydras, but more and more Lings being rallied up. Huge amounts of lurkers shoving forward here. Beautiful surrounding army from Queen, and he finishes off the majority of that force. Very nicely done. You can see all of this was planned out beautifully by Queen, who sent those units to the left side very early on to prepare for this attack, to make sure that he could flank that properly and get a good trade there and consume the majority of the army from Snow. Now that 5th base is up and running. It's got a Nidus network at it as well, so it's unlikely that Snow will ever be able to break that base. For now, he's probably going to have to just take more bases and try to run this into a longer game. You can see he's already taking the center left here, wanting to secure that base as quickly as possible, get himself even on bases to Queen. So the next move will have to be from Queen. Will he attempt to take the top right main, the bottom left main, or will he counterattack into one of these positions? A Defiler along with a big group of Lings and Lurkers can absolutely ruin one of these bases. He gets the chance. Lurkers up here in the top right-hand corner. Going to secure this drone and allow it to make this hatchery. However, Snow is over in this location. He's going to try and run up this ramp. This is a terrible engage from Snow. He's not going to be able to take that fight. Instead, he should probably go up and try to deny the top right base. Try to deny that main. There's only 3 Lurkers up there on high ground, so you can definitely break that base. He's moving through the middle of the map, though. Seems more concerned about losing his 5th base here in the center left than actually denying that base in the top right. And that's the decision you have to make here as a Protoss player. It's a decision that Queen is forcing him to make right now. Do you allow this counterattack to happen and take out the top right, or do you stop the counterattack and allow Queen to take another base in the top right? That's not a very good decision. There's no really good answer there. And now the counterattack, it seems, is going to come through. Queen is just throwing down Darkstorms all over this army. He's come around with another one of these flanks from the left side. A lot of the Lings are just connecting with these Zealots here, so getting eaten up pretty badly. Lurkers from the top as well. Hydras from behind. So many units pouring through here. This is insane. And ridiculously hard to control from the Zerg end of things. That is so many units he's just massing up, sending across the map. In the meantime, also securing that top right base. More Lings being piled out here. A big plague on all of these Protoss units. I think that Queen is in a great position here, but this could change the fates. Snow drop with double DT and 2 Zealots going to pick off that hatchery in the upper right. That was just about secured here for Queen, and unfortunately he's going to lose that egg as well, so no more drone can just pop out and remake that hatchery immediately. He's going to have to bring another drone from another location, probably the center right, in order to retake that base. And Snow has really slowed him down here, despite losing a big chunk of his army in that fight between the 3rd base and the 4th. He did a great job with the drop, and that's all you need, man. You just need to slow down the Zerg just a little bit. And we're sitting here now on even bases. A lot of Zealots running up this ramp. Oh, from both sides here. And it seems like Queen just doesn't have enough, man. He's running Lings straight up this ramp, directly into Zealots. Ooh, amazing storm there. Huge kills, and he's going to lose this base. 17 kills on that Templar, 21 altogether now that they have morphed into an Archon. And the Queen loses this base 100%. There's no way to hold on. One last plague. He does get it down. But this base is donezo. And the Queen is behind on hatches right now. He's behind on bases. Snow's economy is huge. He's sitting here at 200 out of 200. And it's going to be Queen just clawing his way back here, trying his best to hold the upper right. He's trying to take double expansions up there, adding on more Nidus networks as well. He's lost so many drones, though. He has to re-drone here. He also has to deal with this attack that could be coming in all different locations. Going after the Nidus network here is a great move by Snow. He snipes that Nidus so quickly and throws a wrench into Queen's plans. Now Snow heading up towards the upper right. He's going to cut off some of these units. These drones are going to be cut off as well. Picks those off, not allowing them to get mining done at the top right. He's going to attack here towards the natural. He knows that a lot of forces have been moved to the upper right to keep them alive. These Reavers doing excellent work here against the Lings and the Lurkers here on the high ground. Punching through. Snow is going to take down Queen here. Dropping below 100 supply, and oh my god, Snow is still sitting here at 200 out of 200. He is so strong with 5 Archons leading the charge. The Reavers placed beautifully behind here, just sniping down all of the Lings as they run forward, killing off these Lurkers under Dark Swarm. Doesn't matter. The Reavers completely ignore that ability. They've already been plagued, but you just can't get on top of this with all the Archons in front. And Plague just does nothing to those Archons, so excellent positioning here from Snow. He's not even trying to push forward right now. He knows just hang out right here. This will be very, very difficult to clear. It's going to be very cost inefficient for Queen to finish this off. He's going to pick up those Reavers one last time. Can't believe how long he's kept his shuttle alive. And these 2 Reavers have been insanely valuable. 221 kills on this one Reaver. Finally, they go down. But that was super cost inefficient for our Zerg player. Picking up an Archon, running it into the main. 2 Archons, in fact, running them into the main. He's going to kill some more drones here. Are you kidding me? Snow is on fire right now, guys. Absolutely on fire. Kills more drones in the main. He's gonna send this Archon over here. This is looking like a Starcraft 2 game with that Archon jumping in and out of the shuttle. Now, a base has been secured down in the bottom left. Securing that natural is massive. He's completely maxed out once again. He can actually secure the bottom left, that main as well. And trust me, guys, even if Queen manages to hold on to this upper right, he's still going to lose in a split map situation. The Zerg player always loses, man. It is so hard to do this in split map situation, especially against a Protoss player as skilled as Snow is with the Reaver. The Reaver just gets so valuable, so valuable. He's going to rush forward here. Of course, the Zealots coming up, not going to be the best to fight against these Lurkers, but look at that value. Oh my god, just sniping down a bunch of these Lurkers with those 2 Reavers and getting out for free. That is insane. Now, he does lose that shuttle. That's something that you absolutely have to do here as Queen. Just snipe onto those shuttles as much as possible. He doesn't have much anti-air except for the Archons. Go for the shuttle. He will get it. But there's just not enough here. The Zealots are trying to run... Oh, wait a second. Oh my god. Oh my god. Observer's down. No Observer here. And that Reaver goes down as well. This is close, actually. If he can hold off this Protoss army a little bit longer, it looks like he's going to lose some of these to the storms, but oh my god, Snow backs away. Okay, I thought he was completely dead there. Now, maybe he can break this. That is a lot of storm on the side of Snow. Of course, this is quite a few Lurkers. It's gonna drop some of these Dark Swarms, but just throwing down the Dark Swarms, man, it's basically a target for the Templars to throw down their storms. Wherever that orange cloud is, you just drop your storms directly inside of that orange cloud, and you will always kill off the Lurkers as they run in and burrow. So this was a completely failed attack from Queen. That was kind of the last of what he had right now. Of course, he is going to mine up more in the upper right, but his supply is incredibly low. He doesn't really have any more forces in this area to continue this attack, and Snow is going to take the bottom left, man. He's going to get that main. And as he picks up that main, the mining here is going to be so good. He's going to have so many probes transferring down here from his now mined out main and natural that he can fight this out for another 20 minutes. No problem. Keep building Archons, keep on building Reavers and Zealots, and fight this man until he completely mines out his side of the map. It's not going to be a problem. The trades are going to be so incredibly efficient here for Snow. There's basically no hope for Queen. That's how I'm feeling right now. Just based on my own personal bias, I think Queen is completely screwed, guys. It's sad to say. So many kills there with the Storm. Storm, a pretty good unit. Just sniping down so many Lings as they run forward. He's trying to get up here with these Lurkers, but running Lurkers at Reavers is one of the most pathetically sad things you've ever seen in your life. The Reavers two-shot the Lurkers, and they run up and burrow, and then the shuttle just picks them up and runs them away, and you don't even get a single shot off. It is so sad. He's trying to spread out his Lurkers here, but the Reavers are once again in position. This army is completely maxed out. It's so incredibly strong. And a flank might come through here for Queen if he can get on top of this and snipe those two Reavers. He might have somewhat of a chance, but without that, if that doesn't occur, I think this army is just way too strong. He's going to push right through here, kill off way too many Lurkers, make this incredibly inefficient for Queen. And yeah, he kills off the majority of the Lurkers there on the high ground. Now he's just going to push through here towards the natural, towards the main, take out the tech. And that's going to spell doom here for Queen. He's got to stop this from happening. He's got to stop this attack. Snipes the Defiler. So many Archons here. The Lurkers running up, getting stormed. Again, target practice here for our Protoss player. Big orange target there as he throws down the Dark Swarm. Snow responds in kind immediately with a swarm of his own, a storm of his own. Storm the Dark Swarm. There you go. GG. Queen taps out. That was a pretty epic long game, but you just cannot allow the Protoss to snag half the map. And Queen, he just didn't have a choice. After he lost the 6 o'clock position, he had to make something happen. He had to take the upper right and try to drag it out. Didn't end up working. That was a great drop as well by Snow. The double DT, double Zealot drop. That does so much DPS and killed that hatchery so quickly that Queen just couldn't respond, and his economy started to fall behind. An awesome game. Well, Snow's going to move on. He's going to go up against a Terran opponent next. Let's find out who that's going to be. Next up, Snow versus Ample. We got Snow down here in the bottom left, Ample in the top left. Hold on a second, is this a new map? Oh my goodness. I don't think I've ever seen this map before. I'll find out some more information about this. I have not seen this map before. Alright. Well, this is interesting. I'll have to try to find out some more about this map a little bit later, but we've got double gas here. I wonder if it's a high yield, low yield situation similar to Optimizer. Not sure about that, but a very small main base. Super small main base. And there's actually a mineral patch up here right near the ramp, so you can click workers through anything that's on the ramp and just go right up that ramp. So that's very interesting. There's a double gas base in the middle of the map. We've got some high low ground bases at the what looks like 3 and 9 o'clock with double gas again. There's so many double gas bases. I think every single what the hell? Okay, this is a mineral only natural, and then all the other maps or all the other bases on the map have double gas. That is insane. What is this map? Oh my god, I am blown away. Is this going to be an ASL map? Wow, very interesting indeed. All right. we're gonna continue on with this cast, see where this goes, and then we'll take a look at the map afterwards, I guess, and kind of analyze it a little bit further. But this is extremely small. Look at how small this main base is. There is no space for anything up here. Basically shove your 2 gates and maybe a robo, but that's just about it. Likewise, on the Terran side, a couple of supply depots that have covered almost a quarter of the base there. And the natural is extremely wide open. Seems like there's a bit of a choke at the bottom side of that natural for the Terran player, but I don't know, man. This is a really weird map. I don't even know what to think about this. Anyway, we've got just a gas coming from both players. The double gateway means that we're going to have some serious Dragoon pressure, and that makes so much sense here. Honestly, this is a pretty obvious choice from our Protoss player, who, you know, we don't have a low ground, high ground situation, just a neutral ground natural, and I think you can go around this and go to the right hand side. Can you not? He's setting up a bunker here in the front at the bottom of his natural, Ample is, but look at these Dragoons just heading out towards the right hand side here. They're gonna go all the way around the right side. Oh, I see. Okay, no, this makes sense. So this is the only opening in the natural. Is this on the right hand side here for the Protoss? It's at the bottom for the Terran. This is the only entrance. Okay, but there's a ton of space here in the natural where you can build all of your extra buildings. Does not favor one base style at all here, as the main base is just so incredibly small. It's crazy small. So Snow gonna start putting on the pressure here very soon. This range upgrade is about to finish, but Ample already has 2 factories up. He's going to be producing those tanks here very soon, and should be able to hold this off no problem. Is there a run by here? No, trying to run by, but a block from Ample. Oh, gonna run out to the left side here. A very nice block by Ample, but Snow finds another route to get into this main base, and he's going to kill off quite a few SCVs here. The SCVs are fighting. The Marines are popping out as well. Going to fight and kill one of these Dragoons. A nice surround there on the Dragoon towards the south. Wait, he lets it go. What? Finish that off. Okay, he does finish it off now. And the tank has popped out, so he will be able to surround and kill these Dragoons. But more Dragoons come up from the south side. Snow gonna run right past here and force the SCVs to fight once again. Tank sieging up on the ramp there. No shot from the Ample tank. 2 more tanks about to pop. There they are, but 3 volleys will kill one of these tanks, and the other tank might go down as well. Uh-oh, gonna lose another tank. Oh, that last shot was huge. 2 tanks have gone down so far, a bunch of SCVs, and this Dragoon is gonna get up into the main. Are you kidding me right now? Making a run for it. Does finally get picked off. What a weird opener here for this Terran versus Protoss. We've got a Stargate on the way as well. Reaver probably follow up into the carrier play as well. So Snow, not really known for carriers, but he might be going carrier here. You can see there's no Citadel just yet. We've got the Reaver, and in general, Reaver play, it just goes right along with carrier builds. We'll see if he adds on another Stargate or not. That Cybercore wasn't spinning the last time we took a look, but that could still be the case. More gateways being placed here in the natural. This is such a weirdly shaped natural. Ample going to counterattack. He knows that the number of Dragoons here is extremely low, but still 3 Dragoons coming out here, forcing the siege. He's going to siege up along this wall. The Reaver's going to be so clutch here, though. Reaver pops out, gets a nice shot there on one of the tanks. The fire on that second tank. The third goes down as well. This is a complete rout of Ample's forces. Snow shoving everything back. Second Stargate is on the way. Fleet beacon being constructed here. Snow is in a commanding position right now. He can take a third base. He can start building these carriers and just keep the pressure on here with the shuttle. Really liking his spot after that failed attack from Ample, as well as the two tanks getting picked off there at the beginning. His tank count is going to be so low going into the mid-game here. Shuttle roaming around the front. Some vultures have exited the main, looking for the center area. This is weird. Look at that, the kind of lack of vision as you walk through the center there. Those, whatever they are, I don't even know what that is. Kind of vision blockers here, not allowing you to get any vision. Those are having less vision than a Scourge as they run through that one little area. Very, very strange stuff. You're gonna have to bring some flyers along with you or something to spot as you're moving through that area. But here is Snow building up into carriers. No third base in sight for Ample. He is building a ton of factories back at home, so he's gonna have to hit a timing push with a lack of tanks as quickly as possible. I don't know if this is going to work out for him, though. Got 6 factory, no additional command center. He doesn't even have a comsat here, so he has no idea about this play from Snow. He's got no idea that he's going into a carrier build, though he might suspect. He's had no opportunity to scan, and he's just going to hit this timing push as hard as possible. 6 factories are done. Coming outside of the natural base right now, going to set up a small position here and just rally out the vultures and Goliaths from here. Armory is spinning. That should be range on the way as well. Getting some turrets set up here. It'll all come down to this push. Can Ample make it work? Can he beat Snow here? My senses say no. My experience with Snow's ability says no, but we'll see what he can do. Wow, this is the craziest pylon wall you've ever seen. How many pylons is that to build that wall? That is an expensive wall. I think that's like 6 or 7 pylons, 700 minerals for a single wall in. Crazy if you compare that to like a fighting spirit wall in at the top of a ramp. It only takes 2 or 3 pylons to complete, but he's gonna push forward here. Ample is shoving up. Ooh, barely able to jump the Reaver up into that shuttle. Keeps that thing alive. A very nimble Reaver for being such a slow and clumsy unit. Reaver got hops. Anyway, he manages to escape. And it will be used to further slow down this push unless... Ooh, taking some damage. Loses 1 Reaver. Gonna lose this Observer as well. The first of the Goliaths are here, and he needs to continuously rally up these Goliaths here. And continue building these turrets as well. Super important because the carrier numbers are getting higher. We're about to have 4 carriers on the field. Snow is preparing for a surround on this army, sending a bunch of units over to the right side. He doesn't have the speed, though, on the Zealots. So they're going to eat a ton of damage from these mines and from these Zealots, and pulling back immediately from this attack. Ample going to seize the opportunity here and shove forward as close to the natural as possible before sieging up once again. Here he goes, sieging up. He is almost on top of him here. Snow is in a bit of a rough spot. He's got some carriers over this wall. This positioning is excellent. And as the tanks push forward, oh, the Goliaths are running out. The anti-air is just not there, and Ample, where are all the Goliaths? There's some coming from behind. He unsieges and moves forward. However, this army is taking such a good trade. They're picking off a lot of these Goliaths, and the carriers are sitting pretty here over the Dragoons. not allowing the Goliaths to run forward at all. Gonna pick off even more tanks on the retreat. And Ample falls all the way back. His push has been broken. Oh my god, the scout. What the hell is this? Okay, Snow meme in here. 156 supply to 97. Good god, Ample is dead right now. I wonder if he keeps fielding scouts here. I hope he does. That would just be so rude, but I don't know. You either, when you do something like that, when you taunt an opponent with something like building a bunch of scouts, it could be a double-edged sword, you know? It could be, you know, putting the fear of God into your opponent. It could be making them afraid to play against you because you've, you know, embarrassed them in the past. They might have a rough time going up against you in the future, but it could also make them really pissed off, and they might just find ways to beat you in the future, you know? They might dedicate themselves to finding ways to take you out. So it is definitely a double-edged sword. We'll see. Does Snow continue to build these scouts, or will he just pop out 2 more carriers? I don't know what that scout was. Maybe that was a misclick, actually. A 3rd Stargate. Double upgrades on the air weapons and armor for Snow. Center base expansion for Ample is going to try and snag this base in the middle. Double gas base, that gives him a lot of econ if he manages to keep that up, but how on earth do you keep that up against what Snow has? You just do not. Snow moves up here, clears out the mines, kills that command center, and now will begin to engage with the 6 carriers. He did not continue to build the scouts, only building a single one, probably by accident. He will move forward here. It's a pretty expensive accident, to be honest. I don't remember how much a scout costs. Is it like 250 or something? 300? I know it's pretty close to what a carrier costs, which is ridiculous. But I honestly don't remember. Coming forward here. Dragoons firing away at those Goliaths the moment that the tanks siege up. Snow just gonna back away here. Another base coming up at the top center. We'll see if this one manages to stay alive for more than a few seconds. It's like abandoning these turrets here near the middle of the map. So Snow comes forward. He's just going to take those out. Start to pick off some of these Goliaths and tanks. Trading interceptors for actual units. Not bad at all for Snow. And a couple of starports coming up. This is a gamble here for Ample. He's going to try and build up a bunch of rates. Get his... Oh my god, the vision here is ridiculous. It just cuts off immediately as soon as the scan wears off. He's going to try and get these rates, get Cloak, and pick off the observers, and then just go after the carriers, kill them all off, and swing the game in his favor. That's a long shot, but it is possible. Quite a few carriers here now. I'd say at least 6 or 7 now. Maybe even that 8th carrier's popped out by this time. Goliath's being rallied up here. Going to maybe drag some of these goons into mines, or just lose their lives there to the rallying goons. The vision being utilized here very well by Snow. You can see these these Goliaths, they just can't fire at what they cannot see. And carriers are abusing that to very good effect here. Snow gonna pick off a few more Goliaths, a couple of tanks at the edge of the army as well, keeping his opponent so low in supply. After all this, Ample's still sitting at around 100 supply to his opponent's 200, doubling the army supply of his opponent. That is crazy. Shoved right back into the natural. Now a ton of zealots. This is going to be the killing blow. Snow's going to take this game. A pretty cool PvT on a new and wild map. Snow doing a great job of taking advantage of the new map here. I feel like that's true about basically any new map that comes out, is that Terrans take the longest to adapt. They have to figure out how to hold all these different types of rushes and crazy all-in attacks and stuff like that. And the Protoss gets a bit of a brief window where they can throw a lot of different things. They can come up with new ideas, and the Terrans have to learn them and figure them out and counter them properly. But I think this map especially, it's just so strange. It's so different. I cannot wait to see a Terran versus Zerg on this match, or on this map, excuse me. It's going to be totally weird with all those two gas bases. Let's take a look at that map. Alright, before we get into this next match here, I want to show you the new map, Lemon. So we just played on. It is an ASL map. It's going to be featured in ASL Season 12. It's a rotationally symmetrical map, and we've got the double gas here. 4 starting locations. The double gas in the middle, of course. Tiny little main base here with a lot of mineral patches. Got this weird back area, and this natural, which is so insane. This natural makes no sense. The mineral is right in the middle. This relatively large area coming towards your out of your natural here. You've got a small ramp going up to a third with a big ramp on the other side, which makes me feel like, oh my god, if I'm getting this base as Terran, you're pushing up a tiny ramp, and your Protoss opponent is just sending Protoss units up into this third base. How are you ever going to secure that? It's going to be so tough. Maybe you come along here. This is even farther, though. You have to stretch out your tank line all along here. Maybe you can put tanks on the other side here and then stretch out. I don't know. But double gas here as well, and double gas here. So all of these bases around the map have double gas, which is crazy for the Zerg matchup, especially against Terran. They'll just be able to secure those 4 gases so freaking quickly. And it's going to be weird for ZVZ as well, because you can't really just secure your natural to get a second gas, and everyone has... I mean, we're just going to see one base, I think, out of Zergs. Nobody's going to take a 12 hatch or anything like that. It's a very strange map, so we're going to see that played out in ASL. Guys, we're going to jump into the next game. I think it's on Ascension, so it's just going to be a more normal one, and then as the new maps are revealed, there's quite a few new ones, in fact. We'll take a look at those before we actually play games on them from now on. Just wanted to go ahead and tell you about this map, and we're going to jump into the next game. Okay, now that we've seen that crazy map, back to Ascension here for Snow versus Shine. Shine is spawning down in the bottom left, the blue Zerg, Snow in the top center, the red Protoss. Looking very strong today. 2 kills already under his belt. Can he take down a third? I'm not sure if Shine is the man to stop him. He was on top of the world a couple of seasons ago. Ended up taking second place to Flash in the ASL. He's a very creative player. Has interesting insights into the matchups, the different matchups, and has some amazing ZVZ as well. I was shocked by how good his ZVZ was when he was on top in ASL. He hasn't been on top for quite a while, though. Maybe making a resurgence here. I saw him in the qualifiers of the ASL Season 12. Not sure if he made it through, but maybe he is going to give it another shot here. Practice up really hard and try to take another win. That would be very cool. I felt like after that second place loss, he sort of gave up a little bit, I feel. Maybe went back and spent some more time with his family, took a season off or something like that, just to relax his brain. Sometimes you need a bit of time off after a disappointment like that, which I completely understand. So he's back. See how he does here against Snow. The new meta here with Protoss taking so many risks in the early game in PvZ, what Mini has kind of developed here, that might leave some new holes where Shine can find space to bring new creative builds and punish the Protoss players who are being so greedy. We'll see what his thoughts are on this. In this game, a Zealot is coming across the map, very standard. We've got Shine with the 3 expansions, or 3 bases. Popping out some Lings here just in time. 4 Lings. Not a big committal or anything like that. And he's looking pretty good right now, pretty safe. We see Snow has his Nexus down already. Hasn't thrown anything else up in the natural, just relying on pure Zealot defense here. He will fall back with his probe, his Zealots getting in that wall. To see a Forge or a Cybernetics core in the front here. Which will it be? It will be a Forge. So not getting as super greedy as we've seen Mini in these situations. A lot of times Mini will just throw down the Cyber Core and completely rely on his Zealots here in the early game. Throw that Forge in the main. That way it can't be picked off. There's the Cybernetics core. Coming around the same time as that Forge, so interesting that he decided not to take the little bit of extra risk and keep that Forge safe in the main. Now we've got the layer coming up here. The probe will be able to check this 3rd base, but it won't be able to get into the main because Shine is being really on top of that with the Lings, keeping them in the way, preventing that probe from getting through. A Stargate coming up. Going to be dropping the Citadel here any moment as well. Just droning up very heavily here. Shine relying on the bare minimum number of Lings right now to hold this defense. 4 over in this location. He's going to try and run by here. There is a cannon, but it's not finished yet. Nice. Door being closed in the face of Shine. That probe pulling up and blocking very nicely there. We've got Snow sending his Zealots across the map. Only 4 Zealots here, so Shine should produce around 16 to 18 Lings, something like that, 16 to 20 Lings to hold this off. They don't have +1 or anything, so just a good surface area. An overwhelming number should be able to finish those off nice and quick. And it looks like Snow just going to send these home. He's realized that he's forced the Lings out. The Zealots are going to die if he decides to engage, and he just pulls all the way back. So Aspire coming up. We've got more hatches being added on. Shine getting his SimCity set up properly here. First Corsair is out and harassing. He knows that there's no committal to Hydralisk Bust coming his way. He's seen the number of Lings. He's seen the number of drones at the 3rd base. And when you see 8 to 10 drones at that 3rd base, you know there's no crazy Hydra Bust on the way. And there's about 6 here right now, but he's still deciphered this build correctly. He sees the Scourge popping out. Everything is fine. Snow just going to head back home. Whoa! Nice intercept there. Shine snags that first Corsair, and that's a big pickoff. A very, very big pickoff. With this second guess, he could possibly go into some Mutalisk here to hold off the +1 timing of Snow. Snow's going to have that +1 timing and speed finishing up at nearly the same time here as he comes across the map with about 6 zealots and put on that pressure. This is a good spot for Shine to slow this down. He's going to hold position some of these Lings in this tight little choke here. So not all of these Zealots can actually attack. Some Hydras do pop out as well. So no Mutila is going to pop out as of yet to hold this attack. Instead, he's still droning. Only 2 Hydras at this location. And once this +1 and speed finishes, it's going to be any second now. We're already at 7 minutes 30. Should be finishing any moment here. I'm not a Protoss player by any means, but I know that this timing. There it is, right there. So +1 and speed is done. Lurkers are popping out. Whoa, okay. That is an extremely early lurker. He's blocking the front as well. Spotted by Snow. He's going to bring these lurkers forward and push Snow away. That was a skeleton defense so far from Shine. A lot of times when I try to do a defense that has that little to back it up, like just a couple of Hydras and a Sunken at that third base, the Protoss player just runs by with the Zealots and really ends up punishing me. But Shine doing a great job here with the Sim City, making sure that he can't be punished. Oh goodness, there's going to be a run by here. He could go into the main if he gets past these drones. Drones being pulled, really blocking well here and dealing a lot of damage with that lurker and the Sunken, but so many drones end up getting picked off. That was some massive losses from Shine. Gonna lose even more drones here in this mineral line. 2 kills on this Zealot, both of them likely drones. Another one goes down. But then the sheer number of drones that Shine has been able to make, just sacking a lot of his army, not making that army, only making a few lurkers here. Still doesn't have speed on his Hydras, but quite a few of them are popping out, relying completely on his SimCity and these few lurkers that he's managed to produce. And despite losing quite a few drones, I think he's fine on the economy here. He's got a pretty decent drone saturation at all 3 of his bases. He's able to start producing Hydras now. He still doesn't have speed, but he's got quite a number of lurkers. 2 lurkers sitting out in the front of Snow's Natural as well. He's going to bring Scourges up to deal with these Corsairs. No speed just yet on the Overlords. Needs to keep those alive here. 4 or 5 Corsairs can run rampant if there's not enough Hydras to defend these Overlords. You'll likely be supply blocked. Okay, there's definitely enough Hydras here to hold this off as long as he micros correctly. Speed should be done soon so that he can actually come across the map. And Shine feels like he's in a good spot. I mean, what does Snow have right now? He's got a bunch of Zealots running around the map. They have +1, but Shine just has a ton of Hydras and Lurkers out already. You can't really attack into any of Shine's bases. He's gonna take a 4th now. Down there at the bottom, I would say 5 o'clock. And look at this army. No way you can engage this as Snow. Even with this number of Zealots. He's going to try and counterattack here. He's managed to slip by with a good number of Zealots. He might be able to pick off this hatch, but no, he's actually moving in a different direction. He's coming over here towards the 3rd base. There's enough defenses here, I think. I think the Shine will be fine. He's bringing back a lot of his Hydras as well. Going to try and chase this small army around the map. And there's one observer here. It will be picked off, I think, by the Scourge. Yes, it will. And now how do you fight Lurkers? You can't defend your observers. Don't have anything that shoots up. Besides those Corsairs, now a couple of Dragons popping as well, but you just can't defend the observers, and therefore you cannot fight these lurkers. Nice pick off there on that probe. Moving out to expand. Snow needs to get an expansion going here pretty quickly as Zerg gets onto 4 bases and can eventually get over here and start to really confine Snow to this area of the map. He can get up here on this high ground even. Maybe Snow can get that third base, but if he's up on that high ground outside the third with a ton of lurkers, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Snow to break out of that location. Just hold that high ground above the third and lay a couple of lurkers down in front of that tiny choke coming out of the natural. A DT moving around the map, but beautiful movement of overlords from Shine. He's keeping these with the army in order to keep them safe from those Corsairs, but spreading them out catches that DT, and now the DT can't get any damage done on the other side of the map. We often see DTs killing a lot of drones at this point in the game, but ooh, Shine running in here. He kills the Nexus. Excuse me, not killed, but forced to cancel, denied on this Nexus. That is a huge moment, and now he's going to hide some Hydras behind this this mineral line here, and this is a great opportunity for Shine to try and take the high ground, but he's not moving in that direction. He's actually heading up towards the top right. I think that was a great... Oh my goodness, a ton of drops coming through. So many Hydras being loaded up. I think he spotted this though, and gonna come in with the drops. This could be disastrous for Shine. So many overlords coming in here. He's got to spread these out. The Templars there. No storm available though. Lurkers are burrowing and slicing through these zealots on the bottom side. A ton of Hydras here in the back as well, but the majority of the army coming through for Snow. He's going to be able to clear this, and he's actually sending the majority of his forces back now in order to cover any sort of counterattack, and that's what Shine's going for. He's going to try with a bunch of these units to snipe this third base again. These are all of the rallies from Shine, but I don't think this can actually break through. Snow's done a great job of pulling this up. He doesn't have any storms though, and just pure Dragoon versus Hydra Lurker not going in the favor of Snow whatsoever. He's losing a lot of these Dragoons. This is the backbone of the Protoss army. So expensive, these units to remake. They take a lot of time to remake as well. And the Templars do come up, finally going to clean up these Lurkers. Not going to get any spines off on the probes. And Snow holds beautifully there. Really nice hold. Dealing with that drop in the back of his main and the counterattack to the third. With excellent efficiency. Graceful moves here so far from Snow. Of course, Shine with the good moves as well. That drop was well executed. Unfortunately, was also defended properly by Snow, but you know, he's making good moves. He's making a lot of smart decisions here. His army is looking really good right now. Still 100 supply. Gonna be popping out a ton of Hydras. His economy is looking great. DT sneaking in though. He's missed this one. There's not too many drones over here, but that's probably a good thing right now, considering he's losing all of them to this DT. He does notice now though, and I'm really surprised that during all that action, well, I guess I'm not that surprised, but Shine didn't actually transfer many drones to that location. He's had that fourth base up for a long time, but never properly saturated it, and that's holding his economy back quite a bit. Whereas Snow, he is not wasting any time at all securing more bases, getting his probe saturation going at each of those locations. His fourth base is coming up here in the center left. That's going to give him a great staging point for drops down into the main of Shine. So the tables may be turning here, guys. Might see some drops coming in, a couple of DTs, couple of Zealots, something like that, just dropping off in the main, causing some chaos, and then attacking across the map in other locations. Nice pick off there on a Templar. Was it worth this number of Hydra? I don't think so. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Shine keeping his money low now. Spending very well. He's got the economy going at that fourth now. Adding on some Mutalisk now as well. Okay. He's recognized the lack of Corsair around the map. He's going to come out here and snipe as many of these Templar as he possibly can, and then engage fully with the Hydralisk army. Let's see, can he pick off all of these Templar? Ooh, another drop coming through. Oh, he's going to pick off the Templar in the main. Picking off the Templar in the main and then dropping giant numbers of Hydras here in... Oh my goodness, Storm! Oh, the Storm is so good! Ah, a bit of a lack on execution here from Shine. I understand the idea, but the execution just not quite there. Flies in, kills off one of the Templar, but fails to pick up the remainder. There was quite a few more Templar coming into the main base. If he had flown forward with the Hydra, or with the Muta, excuse me, and picked off a bunch of those Templar, that drop in the main would have fared much better. The positioning was great on those Hydras, just mixed in with all of the buildings, but oh my goodness, GG. Shine taps out. Snow with brilliant holds overall. I love what Shine was doing. It just didn't work out for him this time. Hopefully we're going to see more games from him in the future, but for now he has been eliminated. Snow with another kill under his belt. Gonna go on up against this last Terran player. That will be Light. Alright, right as we're jumping into our next game here, we got Snow versus Light. Let's take a quick look at our new map for this game. We've got Destination here. You can see it is an older map. It's been around for a long time. We haven't seen it played for quite a while. I believe it was a ladder map a long time ago. But as you can see, there's triple bridges in the middle. We got only 2 starting locations. It's a 2-player map. There's this weird thing behind each main where there's a mineral on the ramp that can be mined out. And then you can take a base down in the back there, but your natural actually has that wall right behind it where you can set up siege tanks behind there, or you can put storm behind there. It's just an interesting map. There's also bases all around. There's quite a few bases on this map. There's a double bridge right outside of your natural, which can be very hard to push through. But it has shown us some really interesting games in the past, and I hope it's going to show us a lot of interesting games here in this season of ASL. Snow going to start out here on this game, cheesing it out against Light. He's putting a pylon right out in front of his natural, going to drop a Zealot or a gateway there and rally a Zealot in, stealing the gas. So he's playing it out kind of like how a lot of Protoss cheesers want to go ahead and play the Eclipse map. Stealing that gas really early on and just going to try to punish from there. Double barracks being dropped by Light, so he knows exactly what's coming right now. He is completely aware here. Snow, he is microing very well, putting some damage on these SCVs, but with double barracks, you can completely overwhelm the gateway units that are coming out. Oh my god! He didn't spot that. Holy crap. That is ridiculous. I think Light's gonna know as soon as he sees that Zealot coming in that he missed something. But that is really funny that he didn't manage to get a scout off on that gateway. Crazy, crazy, crazy. He's gonna micro here between the 2 bunkers he's got set up, or the 2, excuse me, supply depots he's got set up. Both of the barracks are done, so 2 more Marines will be popping out shortly. That's gonna be enough to fight this Zealot pretty handily. You should be able to defeat that without too much difficulty once he gets up to 5 Marines, that's a little bit too much DPS. He's chasing this one Zealot around the outside here, trying to finish it off. Unlucky with the movement of the SCV there, but he pulls it off. Nicely done. Pulling that SCV back off of the supply depot that was building in a corner there, healing it up and getting another SCV on there very quickly. Nice micro so far from Light. He's losing a lot of mining time here, but he's doing a great job of holding off against this. He has a lot of Marines out now, and he can actually come up and bunker rush this, or bunker push this gateway here out in the middle of the map. As soon as he's got a couple more Marines, I think he will just go with his SCVs. Of course, got to pick off this gas geyser first. Wants to pick that up as soon as possible. Grab that geyser and come down with all these Marines. No way you hold this as Snow. You've got to back off. Head back to your natural and hope that you have Dragoons in time to stop this Marine push. Of course, he is going to take a little bit of a rest here to kill off this gateway. He's not going to come straight across the map. But more Marines are coming. Snow's going to spot that. He sees those Marines popping out. He's going to get up in the main again and get a full scout. This is very annoying for Light indeed. Oh, he actually picks that off. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Gonna come across the map now. On the other side, we've got 3 Zealots on the ramp. 2 Dragoons are about to pop with range being started here. Snow is in a supply block. Hopefully, both of those Dragoons got started before the supply block. I think they did, otherwise he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. There we go. Dragoon's popping out here. He's gonna come and try to kite a little bit, but he needs to get back up this ramp here pretty quick. Otherwise, Snow is going to be, or Light is going to be able to pressure him up this ramp. I think he just wants to put some bunkers down here, if I'm thinking of this correctly. Yeah, he's going to put a bunker here at the bottom of the ramp. Start to push up. This is pretty, crazy right now. Can he actually make this happen? Could he actually get a bunker up next to this Nexus? That would be crazy. The range should be about to finish. This SCV is under a lot of threat right now. I don't think there's any way that he can break this. Instead, he's back at home. He's going to be taking a command center pretty soon. He's got a factory on the way. This last SCV will go down, and that bunker will fall pretty quickly. With the range finishing up. Anything being built here? No, nothing coming out of that factory just yet. He was focusing very hard on microing these Marines, trying to get these bunkers up, so the command center does come down. A machine shop on the way for Light as well. Left a couple of Marines there. Sacrificial Marines, just keeping the Dragoons back for a little longer. There is a bunker on this side, but actually this could be okay. I mean, it's going to be very hard for Snow to get his Dragoons in range of that bunker, and I don't know how many can actually get in range of that bunker on those 2 bridges. You can't really get a good arc there, and I think Light has positioned his bunker absolutely perfectly here so that Snow can get the least amount of surface area with these Dragoons as possible. Look at this. He can only hit with maybe 2, maybe 3 Dragoons here on this bunker. He's actually not even able to do that right now. He's gonna get... Okay, 4 Dragoons are on the bunker. Oh, he needs 1 more SCV. Oh, okay, he's got it. 1 more SCV there. Gets on that bunker. He will have to repair for quite a long time. The Nexus comes down in the back. Double Nexus from Snow. And a tank pops out on this high ground. You cannot dive that tank. Forces away at least 2 of the Dragoons for now and will come down to engage with the remainder here pretty soon. There's the siege up. And everything will be pushed back here for Snow. So, quite a chaotic early game there. Very, very chaotic. But both players managed to hold off, not taking too much damage. And we will start to stabilize here into a normal game. Robotics facility here. Going to be getting those observers out pretty quick, with Reavers soon to follow. Oh, I just realized I didn't cross out Shine's name. Damn it. Just imagine that there's a red line through that name, guys. We've only got one more Zerg player and one more Terran player left, but Protoss, with Snow leading the charge, man, he is doing so incredibly well here, and he's given the Protoss a huge lead, and might even knock out Light here, which is crazy. But remember last season, guys. Last season, Protoss came out of the gate swinging. They did so good in the early part of the season, and then eventually got overtaken by the Zerg. And I think even the Terran, no, Terran didn't bring it all the way back that far, but the Zerg definitely overtook them in points eventually. We'll see if history is going to repeat itself here, but Snow is getting them in a good position to start this season off. I think that Best and Motive should be able to carry this to a win. Unless, of course, Light wins this one. I definitely think Light is capable of taking down both Best and Motive, and indeed Action as well. That would be a huge reversal there if Light manages to do that. And I believe that would be an all-kill as well. If Light comes out and beats Snow, Best, and Motive, that would be an all-kill. I think that actually Queen beat Rush, so there's no possibility of an all-kill here for... Oh, wait. No, Snow, if he beats Light and then Action afterwards, he would, in fact, be able to get an all-kill. Look at that. So, the man who is responsible for a giant all-kill last season in the semi-finals, the TVP, could in fact get another all-kill. Of course, there's not much of an all-kill prize anymore. I think last season it was up to 3 million won when he took that, which is a just enormous prize for just one of these players in the KCM. It's all the way back down to 200,000 won again. It will slowly build up over this season. Well, someone will claim that at some point, but there's been seasons where no one's been able to claim it. It's not an easy task, man, to continue a streak like this over a good number of games over and over and over again. Snow is definitely capable of doing it, but it's going to be tough. Here comes the shuttle flying up here into the main just as the turret finishes up. That is crazy. Does take 3 shots to finish that off. There is a mine here as well. If he drops in this location... Oh my god, that mine is just so incredibly close. It's just not quite there. Wow, this dud is crazy. Dudding out on the Vulture there. That was absolutely unintentional by Light, but a pretty clutch play to keep his turret alive there. And the Reaver can't actually fire its next Scarab until the first Scarab duds, so hilarious, able to keep that turret alive. Finally does lose 1 Vulture, but good hold overall from Flash. Really, really good hold. And now another drop here. Going to try deal a little more damage. Reveals that 1 mine. So that's good information for Snow. He's not going to drop his Reaver there. But Light, meanwhile, he's moving across the map, and these Dragoons might end up getting caught here. He does pick off those mines. Nope. The Dragoons will fall back in time. But a 4th base on the way for Snow. He is growing out of control right now, and Light knows that he needs to move forward quickly. He needs to take this engage. Wow, a huge arc here from Snow. Light completely stuck on this bridge. He's backing away as much as he can, but he knows he is completely overwhelmed here. He's got to get out of this situation. He does pull back. We'll be able to start to set up some turrets here. But this is not where Light wants to be. He wants to be much, much closer to the natural of his opponent before setting up, or that 4th base. Either one would be good, but now he's so far back. and he's across this bridge. It's going to be incredibly hard to push here. And every moment that goes by, Snow is getting more ahead. Of course, Light going to snag a base over on this right-hand side if he can. These two Zealots might be able to deny this. That's very painful, but another SCV is already on the way, so he can continue the construction here. Will eventually get that third base up. Double shuttle heading around the left side. What does Light have in the main for the defense? It seems like he's got enough. Couple of... Oh, nice spot there with the mine. Couple of turrets here. Some mines as well. But this is going to be hard to deal with. Diving right in here, straight on top of this freshly built armory. Armory starts spinning, but he could actually target that. That would be huge. Going after the SCVs, though. Pick off a few of these vultures as well. The Reavers should be taken out now. Can he actually finish off this armory, though? That would be a big pickup. Of course, the upgrade just started, but stopping any of these armories from rotating is a big win overall for the Protoss. Nice SimCity here from Light on the right-hand side. A counterattack coming through. Templar with the Storm. Two tanks get hit there, but these Dragoons are having a really hard time crossing the bridge underneath that barracks. You really got to right-click them forward and force them not to attack that barracks. The floating racks slowed down this attack by quite a lot. And the Dragoons are now getting on top of this command center. Light needs to move forward to keep this command center alive if possible. It's float down, float down. Uh-oh, he's going to lose this. Repair. He's got to keep it alive. So many Dragoons firing. No, he loses the command center. And I don't know, man. How does he bring this back now? That is really a huge loss. Snow with still an enormous force, 4 bases. He can just pour out the units. So many Zealots are going to be rushing forward now. Whatever base Light decides to take from here, it's going to be incredibly tough to defend that. He's +1/+1 right now, but he still has to push this away, and there's still Reavers being made here. This is typical Snow, continuously building Reavers throughout a game of PvT. He's gonna fly in here, try to deal a little damage if he can. Picks off that turret, and now can fly back in with the Reaver. Gonna get some shots off here, picks off the tank. Gonna take out a few of these vultures. Not gonna get any of these SCVs, but I think it's fine not killing off SCVs here. Killing off tanks is much more important. You know he is low on those tank numbers. He's already oversaturated on this base, and he's quickly mining out. So, taking out SCVs is not the biggest deal. Losing these Dragoons is kind of an annoyance at this point for Snow. He already has maxed out, or almost maxed out, through all these gateways. He's got an enormous number of gateways on his side of the map, and GG is called. Light taps out, and Snow takes another win here for the Protoss. 4 kills. Ridiculous play here from Snow. He is showing up so big right now for the Protoss, putting them all in his backpack. Will he take an all-kill today? He's only got 1 more game left. If he kills off Action, he will have secured that all-kill and the first win of the season for Protoss. Here we go, guys. The final Zerg player of our first week of KCM Action, coming out here to fight against Snow, who's been absolutely unstoppable so far. We are here on Revolver, guys. Let's take a quick look at the map. Take a look at the top right-hand corner here. As you can see, 2 eggs on the ramp, a big open main. 1 gas in that main, 1 gas at the natural. We've got 2 eggs in the natural and 2 eggs on the natural ramp. The ramp comes down. There's actually 2 ramps from the natural, both of them relatively small. We've also got these big ramps out in the central area. So 4 of those around the map. This is a rotationally symmetrical map, so you can see everything here. You can tell what the rest of the map looks like. We've got the gas base out here, just outside the main to the left, and down a ramp and then up another ramp. In the bottom right here, another base with a gas, split minerals on that base. It's a very interesting map. I'm looking forward to seeing how ZVP plays out on this one. This is the part that kind of concerns me, is how the Protoss player is actually going to wall here. He's starting out with a Forge first. Actually, that was a Nexus first, then Forge. So that's something that's very interesting to me, considering the way that the natural is set up here. This is going to have to be worked out by the Protoss players at the highest level. That is an extremely tight ramp, though. So the ramp at the bottom is so tight. I don't know if he can even get any lings up that area. Trying to block these lings just a little bit, trying to slow them down. He knows his cannon should be done on time here, but just slowing them down by a little bit can make all the difference in keeping that cannon alive. He's bringing some probes down as well to try to block. He's already got one on the ramp here. We'll bring down some more. Oh, the cannon finishes, but looks like these lings are going to be able to run by. Okay, one manages to get in. Very close for Snow. He tried really hard to make sure that those lings couldn't get in the main, but just not quite able to do it. On the other side, we've got the layer getting started up and a third base being taken at another natural for action. Very interesting stuff here. I'm going to play this out similar to a map like Ultimate Stream, where you can snag that additional natural. It is on high ground from one entrance. It's not on high ground from the other, but the entrances are quite tight. Difficult to fit an army through there, so the sunken defense might be very strong in those locations. With that SimCity, lurkers and sunkens can hold off a pretty big army of Protoss in those spaces. So we'll see how this game plays out. But I think that's the way that Action wants to do it. Just get in that sunken defense, get that fourth base up, go directly up into Hive, and just deal with anything that Snow throws at him until he can get into those mass late game Zerg armies and overwhelm this Protoss player. So we've got a Stargate coming up. Spire as well. Spire's a little bit late here, though, with the Stargate already coming up. He's probably going to lose a few Overlords before he can get those Scourge out. I think acceptable losses, though, considering the type of build that he's going for. The real goal here is just not to die. Oh my goodness. Snow having to pull so many probes here. This is crazy. This is a complete wall, though, on the left-hand side. Just a gateway with a forge underneath. The lings aren't even able to get past here. So many lings have been made, though. Ooh, he just gets that zealot in the wall in time. He's pulling out even more probes, pulling back the probes as they get low. Nicely done. Good hold by Snow, and that ling attack was quite the overcommittal from Action, who's spent a ton of money trying to get up here, and now there's no possible way of breaking this ramp. Another Zealot's about to pop out, and there's 2 cannons here already. Probes are still being held position on the ramp, so this is dead in the water right now. And Action, he's gonna have to find a transition here somehow, some way. Otherwise, he will just get bowled over. You can see how few drones he's made thus far. That does not bode well for our Zerg player. Our final hope to extend this series just a little bit longer. Otherwise, Snow's going to take it right here and end the game. We've got +1 on the way for Snow. both the air +1 and ground +1. He's adding on cannons in the main and natural, making sure he doesn't get Ogre Zerg gamered, as Tasteless would say. Some hatches coming up here at the third base, and this is definitely recoverable, I think, from Action. Even though he failed this early Zergling attack, he's forced some additional cannons out of snow, slowing down his gateway explosion. And as long as Action doesn't do something crazy like just commit to a bunch of mutas and get wrecked with the Corsairs, it's possible here to just continuously add on hatches, drone up really hard, get his sunken colonies out, and bunker down on 4 bases. Bunker down both of these naturals, get in a really tight spot where he can drone up super heavily without committing too much to the army, and eventually take this game. It's possible. Doesn't have much defense for his overlords except for these few Scourge, and pretty quickly this Corsair number is going to get so high that Scourge can no longer deal with that. And the time is almost here. He kills one of the Corsairs, so that time is going to be slightly delayed here for Snow. He won't be able to get there just yet. He needs to pull back a little bit longer, keep making those Corsairs get up to about 6 or 7, and then Scourge can't even touch you anymore. But adding on a robotics, he's getting all of the pieces of the puzzle here. The DT not dealing any damage, unsurprisingly there. We've got a lot of Sunkens. We even have Spores now in the mix. Action aware that he needs something other than Scourge to keep these Corsairs off of him. Should be getting into Lurkers here pretty soon as well. Wants to just solidify this defense while he continues to drone up. As another few Corsairs running up here. Whoa, that was pretty bad by Snow. To be honest, he lost 2 or 3 Corsairs in that fight. Only 4 left, and 5th one gonna fly out and join, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get in here. This is really tight defense. There's a small gap on that one side, but yeah, maybe he can get through. Oh, this is bad. Action allowing these Zealots to run by the wall just wasn't good enough. And all of these Zealots are in behind the natural here, behind the minerals. There's no Hydras out right now, and he could possibly run up into the main and deny that hatchery. That would be enormous if he managed to pick that off. Meanwhile, Snow's grabbing another base. These Zealots are in a bit of a stalemate at the moment. A couple of Mutalisks gonna pop out here. Yeah, this will be the catalyst to force these Zealots to actually do something, to fight with something, and trade as best as they can, rather than just sitting here behind the mineral patches. Only 1 Muta, okay. That's gonna take a long time to kill off these Zealots, but not overcommitting to the Mutalisks here. Wanting to deal as much damage to these Zealots as possible without actually investing too much here. He picks off those Zealots. Oh, a shuttle. I don't think he can see that. The Scourge vision is incredibly small. That shuttle needs to be kept safe here. Oh my god. He's gonna spot it, I think. Where's the shuttle? Oh, it changed direction. Wow. That quick change of direction might have just saved him. The shuttle moving around this side. He's already got Overlords in position, so I don't think that this will go unnoticed by Action. Or by Action. He's probably gonna see this coming in. What is this? Is this Templar? Is this DT? It looks like pure DT. Then Action does see this. He's even got a sunken colony in position. With the Lings coming up, Lings, they definitely don't do very well against DTs, but... Oh, the shuttle! No, he misses the shuttle. That's huge. There might be 1 High Templar in this shuttle. It's gonna take it over to the other base here, but finally does get picked off. Nicely done. Okay. Great play by Action. He has been so on top of keeping... Oh, wait a second. Double Hydralisk Den. Very interesting. Okay, getting Lurker and Speed or range here. Likely Lurker and Speed at the same time. Needs to get Lurkers out pretty soon. A Robotics is up for Snow. He's only on 3 bases right now, but that's fine. Can put on a lot of pressure if he gets those Reavers out, start to put them down in random locations, or to push the front. Dropping in mains is also a great idea. He's adding on a second Robotics, so full-on committal to Reavers here from Snow. I love it. He's going to secure the control of the air here. And it'll be up to Action to defend not only in his front, but also in the back of his bases to keep these shuttles away. He continue to pick off Corsairs. Wow, +2 armor done on the Scourge. That's so smart. He knows he needs to continuously fight here with Scourge, and he will have to keep the shuttles back as well. That is a very intelligent play from Action. He's using this Mutalisk to just keep an eye on what Snow is doing. He's following this army around. He sees the 4th base coming up as well, and this is getting close to that moment. You can see how long it takes these Corsairs to kill this one Mutalisk. That is insane. What are the upgrades on those Corsairs? I'm not sure, but they must be behind maybe 1 upgrade. Yeah, I don't see any Fleet Beacon here, and you need a Fleet Beacon to start the 2nd upgrade, +2 on either air armor or air weapons. So without that Fleet Beacon, you just can't really do it. It's an expensive building as well, but it might be well worth it to get that building just for the extra upgrade, honestly. Now, a bunch of Zealots are running around. They don't really have any effectiveness here, though, with the SimCity setup that Action has created now. The best you can do is pick off some Overlords, maybe fly around with the Corsairs, try to drop a Reaver or something like that. But he's not ready for any sort of large push. And by the time he is ready with a bunch of Dragoons, I think that we'll already have the Defilers out with the Dark Swarm. So he's completely skipped over the Dragoon tech. I haven't even seen a single Dragoon coming out here. It looks like the Defiler will get picked. That's unfortunate. No Dark Swarm, but Dark Swarm not even going to really make a difference here. It doesn't stop the Reavers, it doesn't stop the Archons, it doesn't stop the Zealots either, so he's going to rip through this front here. Okay, finally a good Plague comes off. That's really valuable for the Zerg player. He's going to lose this Nidus, unfortunately, but the rest of the units, I think, will be picked off. Oh my god, that's a lot of Zealots coming up suddenly from the top side, and some Archons joining as well. These Reavers are shoving forward. Wow, he's actually getting right through here. A lot of units coming from the back, coming from the rear, but this is just Zealots, or this is just Lurkers running up against a Reaver. It's the saddest thing you can ever see, when the Lurkers just sprint up towards the Reaver and get 2-shot, and Burrow and the Reavers just pick up in the shuttle and fly away. Damn, what a game. GG Snow with an insane push there. Great use, absolutely fantastic use of the Reavers in this game, and he secures himself an all kill for the Protoss and the first win of the season. Alright, here are your point rankings for the first week of KCM. 2 points go to Protoss, 1 to Zerg. An excellent showing here by Snow. None of the other Protosses even got to play. An all kill secured by our hero Snow today. Very, very impressive stuff. That last push on Revolver was just crazy. Just crazy. I thought that for sure Action was going to be able to hold on and take that to a late game situation, but he got broken in amazing fashion there. Unfortunate having that Nidus network out in the front. Maybe he could have held on had he had the Nidus in behind, or maybe kill off his Queen's Nest to allow circulation to just have that Nidus behind. That might have been better. But of course, Monday morning quarterbacking here aside, Snow played an excellent series. He played an excellent game there in that last one as well. And he takes home the points for his team, takes home the prize as well. 750,000 won goes to the Protoss players, and a consolation prize. Second place, it goes over to the Zerg. So I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Definitely come over and join the Discord, guys. As you all know, or at least I hope you know, we have been copyright struck by Africa TV, unfortunately. So a lot of the videos are down right now. Only KCM is up, and some of my own personal videos are up as well. But all of the Ultimate Battle, the BJJ Extinction, the KRCM, what's it called? No, the Challenger series. All of those have been taken down. There are some of them that I've made private that you can still find if you have the link. Those links are in the Discord. But again, guys, if you want to support, if you want to help me to continue to cast, and I am going to continue to cast, and you want to have guaranteed access to all of those future videos, come over and join me on Patreon. If you absolutely can't, you just don't have the money to support for $1 or more per month, then don't worry about it. Go ahead and join the Discord. We'll still try to find ways to get those videos to you. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I'll see you guys in the next video.